This is Eagle Owl, and today we're going to talk about DeVonta Smith having tough conversations. Also, we're going to talk about Nolan Smith just being a disruptor, man. Lastly, the unsung hero. We got to talk about Kenneth Gainwell. But let's get straight into it. All right, man, before we hop straight into it, I want to talk about Quinyon Mitchell. The NFL, the betting sites is starting to realize Quinyon Mitchell might be the best rookie in this draft class. So, yes, of course, I'm not sponsored by any betting sites or anything like that. But if you look at the betting odds on multiple betting sites, they had Quinyon Mitchell number one. So, whoever got their ticket in early might win some big money. So, that letting you know, like, Vegas is like, he's the guy. And don't let Quinyon, we still got a couple games left. Don't let him catch a pick or two. If Quinyon catch one pick, I think it's a lock. Again, shout out to Quinyon Mitchell doing this thing. And I may eventually talk about N'Kobe Dean. I am, just not today. Because N'Kobe Dean, when I went back and watched the game, he had a phenomenal game. And I see why PFF had him ranked as the best player. But let's talk about the topics. Let's talk about DeVonta Smith. DeVonta Smith, he spoke to John Clark. And he said something in the matter of like it been tough conversations like for the past couple weeks about, just getting certain things going. So it looked like there was a little something going on in the locker room, but nothing too big where it's though guys beefing. I think that was blown out of proportion, but I think it was stuff being talked about like, yo, we can be better. As much as we win it, we can definitely be better. And what did you see? Like the running game gets shut down. You see DeVonta Smith go off, AJ Brown go off. Hell, we're gonna talk about Kenneth Gainwell. He went off. But just spreading that ball around in general. In some ways, I still want us to get like Dotson involved and stuff like that. We see how that go. See how he show up in certain situations. But overall, man, you got to get your stars involved, especially AJ Brown and DeVonta Smith. They get paid the big bucks for a reason. And you see how our offense was just clicking, especially that last drive when it was like 10 minutes and 30 seconds left. Got Saquon involved, got Smitty involved, AJ involved. Like everybody got it going. Jalen with, his arm and his legs got involved. And it just was too much for, the Steelers. We closed out the game with 10 minutes and 30 seconds left, and the Steelers had 3 timeouts. That's insane. Insane. So while AJ Brown was the big story because what he said to the media, he said he purposely did that in a way. But DeVonta Smith, he spoke that day too. But I'm surprised his comments didn't blow up as much. And he spoke again. Like again, there were some tough conversations because we know, all right, we're going into the postseason. You got to think the core guys that are still here, they've been through this win streaks. They've been to the playoffs. They've been to the Super Bowl. But now their goal is to win it all. We want to win it all. And this season is special. So I don't get mad when I hear AJ or DeVonta or Jalen Hurts, voice their grievances with the team or even Nick Sirianni because this year is special. Next year, who's to say we're going to have Kellen Moore? We know Vic Fangio's sticking around. It could be a totally different offense once again. And we seen when that happened, we think in 2022, oh yeah, Brian Johnson, and we just going to elevate these guys and, we can make a run again. But we seen something was just off and they just never got it going. So things could change from one year to another. Injuries, people leaving, maybe not the same team. You got to think of stuff like that. So right now, this team is special. Take advantage of it and try to win it all. And if there's some things we just need to build up on, cool. I'm happy it's being addressed, but a lot of people don't like that this stuff get leaked to the media. Maybe because I'm a YouTuber now, so I like when there's information out there, then I could explain, give my thoughts. But again, on my opinion, I wasn't mad what AJ said. And I'm standing alone on that. A lot of you guys like, nah, they should have kept that to themselves. The only guy I thought that stepped out of line was Brandon Graham because he talked on a personal relationship like that. That's different. But football stuff, cool. If you want to talk about that stuff, leak it to the media. I won't mind giving my 2 cents on it. It's just the personal stuff. Like, y'all never hear me talk about personal stuff. I only talk about football stuff. So I didn't like the friendship thing. But again, overall, I wasn't mad at what AJ and these guys were saying in the media. It showed different team played at a higher level. I like it. I like it, man. But let's talk about Nolan Smith. Nolan Smith, he was disruptive, man. Anytime Nolan Smith have a good game doing good things, I try to put up as many videos as possible. That's why I haven't talked about Nakobe Dean. So I was hard on Nolan Smith. As hard as I was on him, I gotta give him praise too. To me, it just gotta work hand in hand. You hard on the guy, he do his thing. Gotta give him praise. Don't be hard on the guy, then all of a sudden he's doing this thing. You want to be quiet. Nah, he doing this thing. I gotta salute him. Look at his stats. So Nolan Smith against the Steelers had 4 total tackles, 3 solo, 2 tackles for a loss, 2 QB hits, a sack, and a pass deflection. Not only that, PFF on our team, he was the second highest graded with an 84 grade. Nolan Smith. He did his thing, man. He definitely did his thing. And Nolan Smith, keep going up. Keep going up, man. But I actually got a tape of Fran Duffy breaking down this game. Let's go over that clip.
You watch Nolan Smith as a pass rusher, and he's just disruptive. You see here, he's going to work the ghost move, and that raw speed and power lets him disrupt here, helps create a sack for Josh Sweat. Sweat repays the favor for Nolan Smith's sack here, as you're going to see that he's going to go with the bull rush, bounce off the tackle, run the hoop, and get home for a sack of his own later in the game. You get the dice roll celebration, but watch Nolan Smith throughout this football game. Here he's putting his former teammate Darnell Washington in a blender, does a nice job here as a play side run defender, setting up a tackle for C.J. Gardner-Johnson. Here on the backside of the run, beating the tight end, stack, shed, violently pursue the football, get home for a violent finish on the running back. Then you see him here as a looper on a stunt where he's going to come inside. This is one of the first third downs of the game, gets his hands on a football, nearly creates a turnover. Look at the juice that Nolan Smith is always playing with. Then you see him here. Watch how fast he's able to close. Russell Wilson doesn't expect Nolan Smith to close as fast as he does. Helps force a throwaway there by Russell Wilson. Watch him run a wheel route here with the tight end, Pratt Freiermuth, in the high red zone. You see the athleticism from the edge rusher there, taking on a tight end in the open field. Here you see him hurdle a running back in pass pro. Does he lose contain on the scramble? Yeah, probably. You can coach that around, but just the athleticism from Nolan Smith, and it shows up chasing plays down to the perimeter as well. He's chasing the screen down out towards the sideline. Nolan Smith, he was a menace on Sunday afternoon.
You see? I mean, what can I say? The man has been disruptive. In a weird way, I know this sound bad to say, and let me say it, but with Brandon Graham being hurt and Bryce Huff being hurt, you really getting a chance to see Nolan Smith be that guy. Of course, I don't want Brandon Graham hurt. He was having a hell of a year. And of course, Bryce Huff, he was starting to pick it up, and you need the extra body. I don't wish injury on those guys, but it give other guys opportunities. And what you see is Josh Sweat is selling in his role with extra snaps. Nolan Smith is selling in his role with extra snaps. Hell, Jalen Hunt, we ain't know. We thinking like, well, he's going to get redshirted. He got to learn the game just a bit. He's more of an experiment player. And now when you look at him, Jalen Hunt's like, okay, he's showing like he could play right now. Jalen Hunt really showing that. So getting back to Nolan Smith, he doing this thing and taking advantage of his extra opportunities. It's going to be interesting when you see like a Bryce Huff come back. We know he the high paid guy. He's going to start. It just is what it is. You're not going to bench Josh Sweat. So that put Nolan Smith back on the bench. But I guess you get a more motored Nolan Smith, I would say. Like he'll get more rest. It's just like he deserves to start, though. He definitely deserves to start, but that's the politics of the game. You get paid the big bucks, you're going to play. And we'll see how that thing with Bryce Huff and Nolan Smith work. But again, overall, Nolan Smith has been awesome. He keep this up. I can't complain. You know, just the Georgia Bulldogs in general, they took a lot of heat, you know, and last year. Oh, Jalen Carter, the rookie wall. Is Jordan Davis, like, is he a bust? Yeah, I seen my videos. Shoot, N'Kobe Dean, dude, he got it. See, Keely Ringo didn't really get a shot, so we can't really judge Keely Ringo. But we drafted a lot of Georgia players, and a lot of these dudes stepping up. Hell, I would give Keely Ringo praise of being like the top gunner on the team, on special teams. So I got to give him his praise with that, man. He steps up. He definitely steps up on the punting unit. So shout out to Keely Ringo. But these Bulldogs, man, they've been looking really, really good. But let's get into the last topic. Last but not least, definitely not least, Kenneth Gainwell. Unsung hero. But yes, Kenneth Gainwell had 123 all-purpose yards. That's including receiving, rushing, and kickoff return. So he did his thing. He was gritty, man. And when you watch him now, right, from week 1 till now, you could tell Saquon teaching him a thing or two because the way he's been elusive, the spin move, we always knew Kenneth Gainwell's a bit strong, but he's running different. I look at Kenneth Gainwell now, I'm like, well, obviously he can't start for the Philadelphia Eagles, but like there's a couple teams he could start for. When you look at Dallas, is he better than that Rico Dalu guy? Even when I'm just going by teams in the division. When you look at the Giants, you don't think Kenneth Gainwell could start there? There's teams you look at like Kenneth Gainwell could really start and make some things shake. He just behind Saquon Barkley, but he's been better, getting better as the year go on. He's having a really good year to be that RB2. Because this was the game that was his test. Like, okay, Saquon's missing time. Let's see what you got. Let's see what you got, Kenneth Gainwell. And he's been playing hard. I'm kind of low-key mad he wasn't able to get a touchdown. He was close like twice. But he came up big, man. He made smart plays. You could tell he developed. And you got to think of those 3rd and 5. So I'm like, can you make this guy miss? And then he had to do with the spin move. And then it was like, I think it was another like 3rd and 6 or something like that. Jalen Hurts dumped it all to him. There's 2 defenders there. He split the defenders. Even Jahad Dotson was surprised. Like, oh, snap, he's still going. He almost got a touchdown there. So, man, Kenneth Gainwell, awesome job. Awesome job. I can't complain what I've been seeing from Kenneth Gainwell. Cannot complain at all. But that's all I got for you guys today. And hey, man, what do you think? How do you feel? And I told you guys, I did not forget about N'Kobe Dean. He will be talked about. But how do you feel about Nolan Smith? His great day. DeVonta Smith saying the tough conversations has been had. And they probably going to continue to be, given or whatever you want to say. Because this team is on the road to victory to get that chip. And Kevin Gainwell, how do we feel about him? And this is Eagle Owl, man. I'm out.